everybody. Welcome, and if you wouldn't mind, if you can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Welcome to today's January 21st, 2026 meeting of the Livable Roadways Committee. We will do quick introductions, and I guess let's, since we are doing a tour of a parking lot garden today, let's talk a little bit about gardens. Like, what do you like to grow, if anything, or do you just prefer to watch and admire your neighbor's gardens?
Garden. Okay. So, I don't have a garden, but I have a fiddle leaf big plant.
Oh,
And they're very hard to maintain.
yes.
And when the leaf whittles and, turns brown and looks like it's dying, that's when you cut it off and the others flourish. So I've learned that after my third plant. So
Good to know. Good to know.
that's my garden.
Yeah.
And who are you?
I'm Jason Jackman, City 10.
Karen Crest, Tampa Downtown Partnership. I do not have a green thumb, but we do have a lot of native butterfly plants in our yard. I think we have one of those Florida native certified yards, whatever that's called. So
How are yours doing? Mine are completely decimated. The caterpillars in my yard are really happy right now,
that's good.
but everything else looks really sad.
Yeah, but I mean, it kind of ebbs and flows.
Okay.
I'm Emily Hinsdale, Sidewalk Stoppers. Recently, a house down the street from me was torn down, so my neighbor and I liberated some of the beautiful plants that had been in that yard, and that is what my garden is filled with now.
Oh, nice. I love liberating. That's excellent.
I'm counterfoil. I don't have a garden. My mom was the green thumb. She could look at a plant and it would grow and just propagate. I've managed to keep orchids alive, which is weird because you shouldn't be able to do that if you don't have green thumb. They live. And I think it's probably because they don't need a lot of attention. Yeah. I got 3 dogs, 2 cats, 3 kids at home. I grow being like, humans and animals. But we tend to let things just go kind of wild. I hate to say that. We don't mow the lawn. But there was a native, people think it's a weed, it's Biden's Alba, the one that's the little white flower on it. I believe it's edible. It's native to Florida and bees love it. So he tends to take over a little bit in certain patches. So we let it go, we let the bees go. When they're done, cut it down. And if you ever carve pumpkins in your yard, they'll grow. We had a huge set of pumpkin vines that grew with the big flowers, and they've got huge spikes on them. That's my garden.
That's good.
All right, I'm David Hay. I also do not have a garden. But when my wife and we lived in Boston, we for 1 year rented a victory garden in the Bends. And that's when we found out that you could not grow anything. It's a disaster. So we only did that 1 year.
I'm Lynn Hertag at Tampa City Council, and I love gardening. It's my other passion. And I actually just took half my front yard that died and made it a pollinator garden, and it's the most fun. Bees, butterflies, bats, and birds. That's what I'm trying to get. But yeah, we grow all sorts of edibles. Our biggest one, our most proudful one to date, my husband likes to grow things from seeds, is we grew a mango tree, and last year we got our very first mangoes. They were amazing. A neighborhood mango tree. So if you want a mango from the neighborhood mango tree, let me know. She lives in my.
Have you been at the star fruit tree?
Yes, yeah, starfruit
There's
tree,
a
yeah.
massive star fruit tree in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
All the kids go, once you pick them all, they fall everywhere. They're so good.
Thank you for the thing.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll go.
Oh, sorry, Corey Travis McDonald. I'm your TPO staff liaison. I'm not very good at gardening either, but like Kathy, my mom can look at something, grow rose bush to the sky. But I can't keep a good ivy and aloe alive. Crazy with aloe.
Good things.
Yeah.
Unica Mills, Plant City Liaison with Plan Commission staff. I do not have a green thumb at all. In my office right now, I have a fake cacti. And at home, I have a fake elephant plant.
Oh, yeah, I've been here. Those are great. Yeah.
My name is Rebecca Hessinger. I'm with the Community Infrastructure Planning Department, Hillsborough County. I grew up on a farm in Middle Tennessee. I had to work every summer. It was not irrigated. And it made me feel like I don't ever want to be a farmer.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard work. However, I have a key lime tree and a Meyer lemon tree that are starting to produce. I'm so proud of them.
Yay.
Morning, everyone. Lamar Cruzada from Hart. At my apartment, I had a green chili plant in the pot. I was really proud of for a while, but it got destroyed by ants. I was really sad about that. I'm gonna bring it back eventually, but I'm still in the mourning period of that. But at my dad's house in Brandon, we have a mango tree, a lychee tree, and a guava tree in the backyard. So, y'all ever in Brandon? So my dad's. Yeah,
Thank you.
stay from LRC. We'll know.
And who do you have online?
We have Caroline. Second.
Hi, good morning, guys. I also do not have a green thumb, but I do have 2 orchids that are alive and well in my office.
Nice.
Frank Kugenauer.
Good morning. This is Frank from Plant City. I don't have a green thumb, but what you're seeing in the background is my backyard, and my wife has a planted garden over there, or elevated garden over there. So I build it and she grows it. Vegetables
There
and
you
herbs.
go. Excellent, excellent. Okay.
That's my happy place.
Una Johnson.
Okay, everybody, get with it. I do have a green thumb. I take care of a lot of landscapes. Green gardens inspire people, create habitat, shade, cools the earth. Let's do better. Um, I have many gardens, but as a landscape architect, I'm always experimenting. I'm always taking clippings from other gardens and seeing how they perform, and I figure out what works for that space. One thing I love about gardening in Florida is that it is pretty much the incubator for any seed, and from the grocery store, fruit department, bananas, anything. Put it in a baggie with a little moisture and a paper towel, and it'll grow. It's amazing. Have fun with it.
Lori Marvelagia. Hope you can hear us.
No, I am here. Sorry. Sometimes finding the unmute button takes a moment. Anyways, good morning. I agree with the other people that have said about the moms. My mom is the same way. She, meanwhile, I buy a plant fully grown, expected to live, and I kill it. She takes a leaf, puts it in the ground, and a tree grows. So I don't know what magic they do, but I appreciate it. And she comes to my house and, puts a lot of things in my backyard. So that's how I have plants.
Yes, Ashley.
Hi, Ashley Anderson. I'll grab your name tag in a second. I am not a green thumb either per se, but my husband did plant a raised bed garden in our front yard, which I think is very important because you can visibly see it, right? Other folks get inspired. I think when the Tampa Heights Community Garden first started, the one by the FDOT property, I was really good at it then, so I don't know if I just had more time.
Fair, fair.
I was also, younger. But glad that garden's still there.
Yeah,
That's very important to me.
which is gorgeous. If you haven't ever been to the Tampa Heights Community Garden, and one of the best things about the Tampa Heights Community Garden is it was created because of FDOT.
Correct.
So in addition to the Tampa Heights Junior Civic Association, where they took the church and did a adaptive reuse, and now it's a junior, it's actually where Nia Young used to work, before she became a city councilwoman. It's after school work, summer, camps. It's where Tampa Heights meets. It's their community space. And then behind it, there's all this land that they turned into a community garden. And it's not just like a community garden. They have a covered aquaponics. They have like this giant pergola. I mean, it's not even a pergola. Like, what would you call it? It's
Yeah.
just
Kind of pergola, yeah.
yeah, but it's huge. I mean, you can fit
Like a
easily
vet
40
pavilion.
people under it, and they often have potlucks and things like that. So today we're going to see a garden that is part of Tampa's parking facility, and it's amazing. So I just wanted to kind of start with that. And even if you don't have a green thumb, I want you to know it's there so that when you walk by, if you need a relaxation for your day, it's a great place to walk by. You're working downtown. So anyway, thank you so much for that. Nice little way to start the day. I don't think we have any public comment. Don't think anyone's online for that. So, because and we do have a quorum, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh. Gail, did you get everyone?
So typically we'll do the sign in and I
Oh.
can check attendance as well, rather than calling the roster. It just takes a little bit of time and then we're going around.
Okay, got it then. So, if anyone is inclined to approve the minutes from December 17th. Anybody have any comments?
I had a comment.
Sure.
The Morgan Street Public Engagement Event, it showed for January 18th and it's February 18th.
Okay.
On the notes. However, that's being pushed to March now, so.
Bummer. Okay.
I know. But yeah, no date set, but it's set for March.
Okay, thank you. So can we get an approval with that change?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so I have a motion from Ashley and a second for Emily. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Excellent. Okay, so we have just a few action items today and one quick status report.
Good morning, LRC. As I mentioned, I'm Connor Travis McDonald, CPO staff. The first action item is attendance review, election of officers, and declaration of vacancies. So what I'm gonna do is pull up its attendance. I did print them out, a few of them, so see that. So if we wanted to do election of officers first, Councilman Pertak, since you are elected to the LRC chair, I think you could lead that if you'd like, or I can.
Okay, so we need
So the
a,
process is a nomination and I believe a second, and then if there's more than one, we can address that. Then you would call one round for nominations, and if there's a second nomination, we'll go on this.
but the first one we're going to nominate is vice chair?
Yes.
Okay, so do I have a nomination for vice chair? Vice chair is currently being held, I believe, by David A. So, do we have a nomination?
Excuse me, Chair Herta?
Yes. Yes.
You do not need seconds. You just need nominations and
Oh,
the person
okay.
to accept.
Okay, so do we have any nominations?
Question, could David
Yes.
serve again or is that against the rules?
Oh, I believe David can serve again.
Then I nominate David.
Okay. Anyone else for nominations? Okay. We need to vote to approve David for vice chair.
Technically, you don't if there's no other, if
Oh,
there's no
okay.
other nominations, technically you don't.
Thank you. No, this is great. I do appreciate that. And then I believe our, what's the other elected?
It's officer at large.
Officer at large. Okay, and that is currently being held by Catherine. Do we have any nominations?
Nominate Catherine.
Okay, so we have a nomination for Catherine. Do we have any other nominations? Okay, we're set.
All right, thank you.
I know it was a long campaign. Yeah, yeah.
We found the street.
Yeah.
Yes, babies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, and then the attendance review, I have contacted everyone who has multiple absences. Some of the ones to kind of bring attention to maybe, well, not attention to, but I would recommend with LRC that we don't declare any vacancies. Sometimes it's difficult, challenging since we have different representatives. So I wouldn't recommend any vacancies, but if you are okay, I would just recommend you look at your attendance, see if anything's incorrect. But I'll let you pause the sentences.
And a lot of these, Connor has done a great job reaching out to people to talk about issues and, you know, how, you know, some people had conflicts and no longer have conflicts. Some people have moved out of their roles. And so he's done a great job reaching out and finding that out. And so we do have some actual vacancies. So if you could talk about the vacant positions so that we can all kind of like put a little star by them or something to see if there's anybody we might know that would be willing to fill some of these vacancies.
Let me see. Anna Grunman from Public Works, I don't want to call it now, but it's Public Works, that position has changed. So we're looking for someone from Public Works. I have been in contact with them. We're looking for a change there.
Oh, okay, so we have,
I know someone at Public Works that might serve.
okay,
I
yeah, that would be wonderful.
didn't ex-
Thank you. Yeah, I believe we're also looking for a replacement. I know we have some alternates. We're just looking for a new staff member from there. I have been in contact with them as well.
I'll be at Thea, I think, up in a few weeks, so I can.
We did remove the New North Transportation Alliance.
Okay,
And APA is vacant as well. Let me get in contact with the current chair, Sunfos.
okay. And then you said that the New North Transportation Alliance was really like a neighborhood position?
Yes, and
Okay.
a few months ago, when we reviewed kind of LRC's goals, and we saw that there's no longer an association, there's no funding to it, so it's no longer an agency, so we can't go ahead and that's what the LRC voted on. It's just not within this attendance. We started in 2025 and
Okay. But did we say we were gonna replace that with just a vacant neighborhood position or just taking it out completely?
so we do have a neighborhood rep. I think the LRC, if I recall correctly, just took it out.
Okay, great. And then we have Jason here for the University of South Florida.
So it's actually Tia,
Oh, okay.
Jason, who are with City.
What happened to Gus? Where's he at?
He hasn't been able to make it. We have
Oh,
been
okay.
contact.
All right.
Yeah.
I was hoping he was okay. I just haven't seen him.
Yeah, so I think they're working on that. He did get in contact.
Question
Mhm.
is UT. Are they? That doesn't fall into the investment partnership, but it does, so.
Yeah.
It would need a center, right?
I mean, I think we wanted to invite someone.
It's just that their campus has gotten so
Yeah.
large and more urban and maybe they, you know,
They might be interested. It's been, I've had since the new president has come on, we've really, I really wanted to create the relationship because of that I mean, UT used to be very insular, right? Now they're spreading out and it's very exciting. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know how we.
I can ask them. I talk to them regularly.
Yeah, I'm not sure the process of adding a position, so if you'll allow me to research, talk to the CPO staff, and I can come back and see what's needed.
And then I know we're trying to find someone for, at least an alternate for Parks and Rec, but we have a brand new Parks and Rec director. I mean, he's not brand new. He's been at the city for a very long time, Ted Fowler, but he's new in his position. So hopefully we can at least get one or two alternates so that we can have Parks and Rec here. And then what is the vacant at the top? It says vacant. Under Jason's name.
If I may, I am the keeper of this spreadsheet.
Okay.
So this is a year-long back look. So as people's positions changed, it may show up as vacant and then pop out for a month as attending and then pop back to vacant, just because people are in and out. So that's where you see a lot of different things going on.
Okay. But do you know what the vacant position is under like Cal Hardy and Jason Jackman?
Yeah,
Is
that
that-
position was vacant for a while. But if you scroll to the right, Connor,
Yes, absolutely.
it should show Jason popping in at the end of the year.
Oh, okay. So you're saying vacant as someone from the city, that's part of the city of Tampa transportation. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
Right. So if there's not any more questions, thank you for allowing me to contact those people. And again, LRC can be challenging to get to, especially with different representatives. So I appreciate the review.
For the APA, can that just be anybody from the APA?
Yes. Anybody who, is a member of the APA.
Also, we have vacant space for Congress for New Urbanism. I know there's a lot of people who are CNU members who would be interested. So talk to your planning friends from CNU if they might be interested in that. City of Tampa Urban Development Department. Do we even have a department? That's called urban development. Yeah, I think it's planning.
It used to be that, like,
Isn't it planning?
city
Yes.
planning.
Yeah, that's Evan.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know that guy.
so that, yeah, I don't know if Evan has, someone he might,
That's a good question.
yeah, because I mean, we might as well, if we have this position, as he said, it actually has to go to the whole board to take the position out, so we might as well play with it.
Jackson. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's like such an old name. It has been that name in like 15 years or so. I don't think.
Yeah. So let's
City
see if someone from American Planning Association, someone from Congress for New Urbanism, and then we'll change that to City of Tampa Planning.
Yeah, and it'd be great if the APA person. I'm not an architect, but I'm on the board. I'm the non-architect member on the AA. But it'd be great if somebody maybe from the APA one is someone maybe in the private sector.
Oh yeah,
Consultant. something,
Sure.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Congress for New Urbanism, same
That
thing.
too. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
I'm thinking of like even, I know he's like super busy, but like Steven Benson or
Yep.
someone.
I was thinking of him from the CMU.
Oh,
Either
okay.
one.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, the
Yeah,
CNU.
somebody who's working in.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing for Sandy. So,
Private
but
sector experience.
if there's any others, so take one or two and just put that on your radar if you know people. And then if you wouldn't mind just taking a moment to send some names to Connor after you speak to that person. I see people with their phones texting right now. That's awesome. Thank you. Do that now. If you think of anybody, feel free. That way we can kind of get some things in line, and maybe I know we have a very busy February. But maybe we can just talk about it briefly at old business, just to see how it's going. Because I'm excited. I think it'll be great to get some more perspective.
Do we need to correct the record if it doesn't show something correct? Like Megan Winchester is my alternate. She was in person last February.
Oh, okay.
And I was also here. Don't show this to my boss.
Yeah, sure, we have to bill this time. They won't count, they'll go straight. Zero.
That's right.
If you bid. No, this meeting makes it on billing, so.
So I wanted to point out one other thing. If a primary person and an alternate are both attending, they will not both be reflected on this spreadsheet, because if you scroll down again, Connor, there's totals at the bottom that show whether or not we have quorum.
Oh, okay.
And that's based on what's in those cells above. So yeah. Now that will be reflected in minutes, just not on this spreadsheet.
Okay.
Thank you, Gail.
Thank you for that.
And one other addition, if I may, is that if you're looking for someone from like APA, especially for CNU, if they're one of our general planning consultants, it would be a conflict. So that's the only thing that, if they're working for a consultant,
Do they recuse themselves or they just can't serve it?
they're not be able to serve in case they.
That makes that tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe somebody right like.
Excellent. Well, we can return to that briefly next month, but thank you for this. Appreciate it. So I think we are set for that item. And then we have one more item that we talked about. So this is exciting. This is kind of one of the things that we have been talking about as a group about how we can be effective and make sure that what we talk about here gets out. So.
Absolutely. Thank you. Again, Connor Travis McDonald, staff, just for the record. A couple months ago, or several months ago, the LRC motioned and approved to write a letter to HART to suggest or recommend that we review the bus signal prioritization. I'm really encouraged that to request a presentation on more information. So we did write this letter citing what the TPO has done and kind of what can be improved or what we would recommend. But technically the LRC is a recommending body, so it needs to come from the board or our executive director, Johnny Wong. So that's why you see his signature at the end. But what I'd like to do, I printed out a few, so and also in the agenda, if you've had a chance to review, if you have any suggestions, I can take those. I mostly wanted you to see the letter, know that we have it.
Lynn, if I may.
Yes.
So will you keep us posted on the responses?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I had one minor comment just about first name. We go by the Hillsborough Transit Authority now.
Okay.
On the, like under Scott's name. And
Okay.
on the other line, it said two different ways, so just, be consistent.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Oh, you don't use area anymore?
don't use area,
Oh, I did not know that.
no one, in the future, you know.
So it's really HRTA now.
It's HTA.
HRTA, there you go.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. to us, but that's our legal name. That's how we report to the feds. I know. We're still hard, but. Yeah, exactly.
I was glad when Sarasota changed their name to Breeze.
Oh,
Yeah.
The old bus was Scat.
Yeah.
Always funny to me as a kid.
Now it is,
Because it wasn't S bus, if you know.
it is still,
don't-
Brevard is still space code area transit.
Oh,
just
wow.
like that.
That's fine.
You know, whatever gets you to remember it.
So the recommended action today is just to approve the letter for Johnny to send to.
So move with the change of our mention.
Second.
So I have a motion from Catherine, a second from David. And any more comments? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, great. Technically, our next item is the, community garden, talking about that and the field trip. But before we do that, I do kind of want to talk about, just so that we're on the same topic as we leave. Connor, if you wouldn't mind going over, what we have planned for February, March, and April. We have a really packed schedule. So what we're gonna try to do at the end of these is sort of tell you in the future some of the things that are coming so that you are excited to come back and that you're thinking about some things. And maybe we can make it part of the email that we send it or part of the agenda if there's a way.
Yeah, that's interesting. I can definitely try to see what we can do.
Yeah, just so folks know what's planned, not necessarily 100%, but we have some really exciting presentations planned. Some of the things that you all asked for, and some things that the TPO staff is bringing.
Thank you. So for February, I'm going to be coming with the Temple Terrace multimodal connections. We saw a status report on that, I think in October, so it's finalized. And I'm bringing the results of the prioritization of that study. We also have the safety treatment effectiveness evaluation. That is a result of the safety performance measures from last year. So it's evaluating infrastructure and the benefits of different designs and how they can increase safety. We have an MLK corridor study, which is the limits are from US 301 to Turkey Creek. We have a congestion management and crash mitigation plan and West Shore Alliance Transportation Action Plan. So that's 5. In March, there's also Ward 5, there's Beers Avenue, TDP, which I think is Transit Development Plan. Thank you. And then we have a study on local roadway resilience countermeasures and potentially one on economic benefits of trail plugging in there. And then the last that I'll mention is the list of priority projects. These are 2 action items, the list of priority projects and the congestion management and crash mitigation plan, the final results of that.
That's April, right?
Yes, that's April. Thank you. And then the last 2 for April are the I-275 aesthetics and the West Shore Alliance aesthetics and so we're working what we can combine and work around, but it's the end of our planning cycle, so we have a lot coming up for actions.
Yeah, so there's some exciting things coming up, and one more thing that I mentioned to Connor yesterday that I just literally started yesterday. I am working with mobility staff at the City of Tampa, and you may not know this yet, is because I just talked to Brandon about it yesterday, about coming up with standards for bike racks. So we're going to be working on, I think y'all are working on the, what is it called? The transportation, like guidelines, something like that. And so we're going to be putting guidelines in for what a bike rack should look like.
I think it's already in the code.
Yes, but we are going to update it. And then what we're doing in the land development code is we're going to have it reference the transit plan or the mobility, whatever it is, so that as we change it, the land development code will simply just say you need to follow, because we have really bad bike racks all throughout the city. So my goal is to change them to usable bike racks.
Yeah.
So if you have any thoughts or recommendations, you can reach out to me as we go through that.
Yeah. I mean, just I thought we had changed the code a couple years ago.
You did, there are specific ones in there.
Yeah.
There's
I
one
don't know whether the
down
code's being adhered to.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of
Okay.
the problem. So that's, but we want to start with like what best practice, what we'd really like to
Yeah,
be.
thank
And then, because I'm tired of trying to park my bike next to a bike rack that's shoved against a wall.
Yeah.
So it's just things like
Yeah,
that.
that's
So,
right.
so we're gonna, so that's my new, hobby horse.
That'll
So,
most likely be part of the bike ped master plan.
yeah.
For the land development code side of it, it'll be so that when the private sector comes to you with the site plans, that there's a standard pad and size and everything, correct?
Yes, I
That would
believe
be
so.
very helpful. Representing the private sector owners, that'll be very helpful.
Yeah, that
That
and
is a
just,
thin gray area because every site gets its own interpretation and then
okay.
it's not always the owner's fault per se.
Yes, and then when they come in front of us in council,
Yeah, you guys bring it up.
yeah, I bring it up, but right now we don't have, I don't think the standards are where they need
They
to
are
be.
not.
Okay,
Yeah,
well
so
then,
like
there
if
you go.
Bring a site plan even for a PD, and we don't have a way to say, okay, we ideally, small, medium, large even, this is the smallest that I'll allow and how we want it to fit on the site and the biggest that you can do.
Yeah.
That would help owners out a lot.
Great.
Could I just put in a plug that you're considering short-term and long-term bike parking, and because the bike room design that some of the new places have built is just not as good as it could be.
Okay, yeah, so we can look at, okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know. Yes.
I would also suggest you look at some of the safe routes to school standards on that, because some of the bike racks that are promoted for like the League of American Bicyclists work very well for adult bikes, but don't work very well for the small bikes.
Yeah, okay.
So making sure that that's something to consider, that there is space. Like I've gotten complaints from bicyclists about how awful the ones are at schools. The adult ones do not work at schools. That's not how children's bikes are set up, and that's not how they fit.
Okay.
Ooh, that's an interesting point, because that the schools don't go through the same permitting.
School permit, I mean, it's very different, and they have their own standards, and they are what they are, but children's bikes are built differently, and they are different sizes, and they don't always work with the adult bike racks that I find. So if you go to some place where there are children's bikes, you will often see the children's bikes like lumped on the ground, because there's not the bike parking does not work for that. I did not know that.
Okay, well, I will definitely look into that. Thank you so much.
Downtown has a specific one too. Just, it's the two posts with a little decoration. That you don't want to get rid of or outlaw accidentally, because it's good for just a quick stop, chain up, go inside and come back out.
Yeah.
And they're programmed in street frontage.
Okay, great. Well, then,
Yeah.
well, have a lot of people to talk to with it. Excellent. But now we get to talk about the garden, which we're going to go see after we have this presentation. So welcome.
So hello, everybody. My name is Austin Briggs. For those that I haven't had the opportunity to meet yet, I am the City of Tampa's Parking and Micromobility Planning Coordinator. I am, hopefully you can feel it, very excited to be here to share this with you guys today. It has been the culmination of about 2 years of work that we are now getting ready to open to the public the first weekend of next month. So I'm excited to share with you guys kind of the journey that we've gone through to put this in place, why we've done it. I mean, we're parking. Why in the world are we putting a garden somewhere? And then kind of what we're expecting to get out of this. So I'm really excited to be able to present this to you all today. So first we'll just take, and I'm going to try to be really quick. I know anyone who knows me, I can be long-winded. So I will do my best to be as brief as possible so we can make the most of our time in the garden itself. So just to take a quick look at kind of where we've gone, or where we've come from. In January of 2024, we started this concept of how can we activate this empty open space in front of the Whiting Street garage. It's at the corner of Morgan and Whiting Street itself. It used to just be a wooden half fenced off area. The wood itself was decaying, and the land wasn't really utilized for any purpose other than collecting trash from the side of the road. So we started thinking internally, and I got with some of my team members to come up with some options that we could implement within that area to make it more beneficial for the community. It's public land. They're the ones that should be benefiting from it. And so through the course of that year, we came up with, well, what's one of the coolest things for me and my environmental science background is community gardens and ensuring people have access to sustainable, healthy, organic food options. Especially being in a downtown, not everyone has access to a backyard that they can do this in. So we thought that would be an excellent activation for this space. So in the very bottom image there, it took us about a year, but we did end up coming up with a generic garden design for the allocated space that we have there. And I'll get into the dimensions of it. It was very site constrained, but we made the most with what little space that we had. And then fast forward to this year, January 2026, we have the garden fully established now. With over 56 beds. We're getting really excited. We're getting ready to welcome all of those community gardeners into our garden. It's come a long way in that 2 years. So why did we design, establish, install, build, all of that, a community garden on a piece of parking land? It's not just about growing tomatoes. It's about community, for lack of a better term. We created and administer the community garden with 5 key goals in mind. Those being getting our residents and staff outside for fresh air. We have a great place here in Tampa, and we want to encourage people to be outside enjoying it. We want to promote healthy eating and organic cultivation of crops. We want to foster a culture of inclusion where individuals from all walks of life can engage in a common interest. We want to activate a city property that was previously doing nothing for public benefit. And then finally, we wanted to provide a living classroom where water conservation, recycling, and composting can start to be ingrained in some of our community members' lives, and hopefully enacted at home as well. So let's talk a little bit about the garden before we head out there to see it ourselves. There are 56 raised garden beds in the garden. All of them are 2 feet by 2 feet by 4 feet, so that is 2 feet wide, 2 feet long, 2 feet wide, 2 feet tall, and 4 feet long. We have 9 of those prioritized for use by individuals with ADA accommodations. Those are at the front of the garden on the decking area to ensure wheelchair accessibility for those. We have 11 that are designated for City of Tampa staff. We also wanted to make sure that along with our residents, staff within the City of Tampa is also encouraged to start making these healthy eating habits and hopefully engage those with their family as well. And then we have 34 designated for City of Tampa residents. And then 2 at the very back of the garden that are dedicated pollinator gardens. So we'll take a look at those. I don't think the frost the other day killed them off too bad. We've got a really robust pollinator garden growing right now. Also within the garden, we have a very large covered gazebo with a seating area for anyone who is participating in the garden to come out on their lunch break, read a book, take a break under the gazebo. It's really nice. We've got patio furniture out under there as well. We've got 3 greenhouses, a community tool shed, so that we are essentially providing as much tools and accessibility to anyone who wants to participate in the garden as possible. They don't need to already have a trowel or a rake. We're providing that to them for their use in the garden. We've also got rain collection barrels for sustainable watering and a compost bin to help us generate our own organic fertilizers. So how are people able to participate in the community garden? We wanted to keep this relatively simple. All you have to do is be 18 years of age or older and reside within the City of Tampa city limits. That in effect makes this program able to affect as many people within the city as possible. If they had to be 18, because there is a waiver that has to be signed. But other than that, we are trying to reach as many individuals as possible. The best part about this, though, is that anyone who is awarded a plot through the selection process, they are able to bring a secondary gardener, which could be well, not a secondary gardener. They can bring as many secondary gardeners as they'd like, which could be a wife, a husband, the children. So everyone can come into the garden and reap its benefits. But all they have to do to qualify is be 18 and live in Tampa. We decided to go with a lottery selection for the applicants. So they'll apply online during a 2-week application window that was held in October and the first week of November. We had over 70 applicants for the 56 available spaces, which was really exciting to see the desire for this. We actually originally only had 52 garden beds, but after we saw the interest from the community, I went out and I bought some extra ones and tried to shove them in places just to get as many people into the garden as possible. And it's similar to the E by Croucher program to make sure that it's not first come, first served, because we understand that not everyone has access to a computer at 8 a.m. on a Wednesday. It was a lottery selection, so they're randomly selected out of the pool of applicants for participation. In order to keep the garden functioning at a high level and ensure that it's providing the service it's meant to provide, we have a set of bylaws and site rules, which are a 9-page document, essentially outlining that you can't plant trees that are clearly going to shade other people's plants, no cacti or other illegal substances. We haven't quite gotten there yet, I think, with the city, with the state of Florida. No permanent structures. We're also trying to keep the garden organic, so no chemical fertilizers or pesticides, no pets except for ADA or other allowable service animals. We have primary gardeners and secondary gardeners, which I've already mentioned, and we do have a requirement that individuals maintain their plot at least once per week, so that it's not flowing over into the neighbor's lot, flowing over into the walkway. We want to make sure that it's kept up nice, and also if they're not harvesting, it could lead to ants, which I think some of us mentioned at the very beginning, like there was an ant issue that ate your plants. If you're harvesting all of the stuff, that's less likely to be an issue. So upkeep your stuff every week. So we also want the garden to be more than just an opportunity for someone to come and plant plants and grow healthy foods. we want them to be able to take this home with them and share it with as many people as possible. So the parking community garden is essentially an education hub, is kind of what we wanted to design it as, where we're going to be offering sessions on composting, sustainable landscaping, and even cooking with their harvest. Because it's awesome, right, to provide someone with the opportunity to here, grow your own bell peppers and tomatoes. If they don't know what to do with that outside of, they have the opportunity to grow it, kind of pointless, right? So we are going to be providing all of our garden applicants, or garden participants, excuse me, with these different classes over the course of the coming year. Our first one being composting with Renewable is going to be held at our kickoff meeting on February 2nd. So we're very excited for that as well. And then lastly, I just wanted to share with you guys some of the, excuse me, data from the applications. Again, we received 70 total applications for those 56 plots. We had an average age age of applicant running about 50 to 59 years old. But overall, there was a pretty great spread, including 17% in their 20s and even 3% in their 70s, which was really incredible to see that the interest in the garden kind of hit all ages. It wasn't just a set variety of individuals. We also saw that most of the applicants were female for this, the community garden. And then as it comes to race, we have about 57% white individuals, 14% Black, 10% Hispanic Latino, 7% Asian, and 7% multiracial. And for the income, it also interestingly, our applicants come from all economic backgrounds. Well, 28% do have a household income reported of over $150,000. 18% have a household income between $25,000 and $50,000, showing that the desire for those fresh organic foods transcend the paycheck that comes in. So with that, I wanted to provide you guys with information to access more details about the community garden at the program's website, which is tampa.gov/PCG. That way people don't have to type out parking community garden, because that's pretty long, so we just abbreviated it to PCG. You have my contact info there. If you've got any questions outside of what we were able to discuss today, please don't hesitate to reach out to me via email or my phone. And then if you want to swing by the garden just to take a look at it, right now it's a little barren as we are getting ready to introduce the new cohort into the garden, but it is at the corner of Whiting Street and Morgan Street. With that, if you have any questions, I'd be very happy to answer those.
Yes, Rebecca.
Staff time, do you anticipate overseeing how well it's going? Like how many, see, we think of this stuff for different communities in unincorporated county, but then when it comes to who's going to oversee it, who's going to manage it, then that becomes a big issue.
It's a great question. So I will be overseeing our community garden. For the setup, it has been heavier on the hours of my time that it has consumed. But once it is set up, it'll essentially just be a few hours going out, making sure that the garden itself is maintained and everyone is following the bylaws and site rules. I foresee that maybe taking a couple hours a week.
What are the security measures? Do people have to have a key to get in, or?
So
I'm just wondering.
No, this is a fantastic question. So it is closed off to the general public. We did see while we were initially building it that people were coming in and doing things that were less desirable within the garden.
You put a gazebo?
Yeah.
You never know.
It's a great place to be. It's everyone wants to be there, which is fantastic. But we do have a lock that right now it's a Bluetooth lock. So anyone who has been approved to participate in the garden will be receiving access to that lock on their phone. It's an app. You pull up your phone to the lock itself and it unlocks. It's really cool. We've been having a little bit of issues with it because of Bluetooth. So we are going to go to a changeable code lock, but it will be lock protected.
Such a fabulous idea, and I wondered if in your spare time, if you're looking at any other potential expansion lots, because I'm assuming parking on some just like other random spots.
We have quite a few lots that none of them right now have been approved for, so I can't quite talk about it yet. But we do have several other locations that I'm looking at, especially once we see this first group get started and how successful that I know it's going to be. Being able to expand into some of our facilities that have larger areas and be able to do more. I think we even talked about the Tampa Heights Community Garden that has aquaponics and hydroponics. I would love to be able to implement something like that within our community garden, just to really implement or supplement its impact on the community. So we are looking and might be looking at some other locations to implement this as well within our facilities.
So I've already gotten a tour of the garden, and I actually, we brought Kitty Wallace, with the, oh gosh, the name.
Coalition of Community.
Yeah, Coalition of Community Gardens, and she actually was the one that talked about it. Were you able to get out to Tampa Heights Community Garden yet?
I have not been able
Okay.
to, and I missed the one at, was it the mustard seed garden that they had at the beginning of January? I was out of town, so I'm hoping to be able to get to over.
Yeah,
some of those.
yes, just to be able to see what they're doing. So now he's already been like embraced by the coalition, and which the Coalition of Community Gardens has grown quite a bit. So we have a lot of it. So if you're interested in doing any type of garden work in and around, I would highly recommend reaching out to the community or Coalition of Community Gardens. Kitty Wallace, Lena Young Green, they were both very, very involved.
Very knowledgeable.
Yes, yes. So, yes, David.
I know a couple of years back, there was talk about edible trees, like, you know, the tree, and that kind of, I guess, saved on Pleasant Tree on that particular location. Is that still discussed or kind of?
I haven't heard anything. You can't even get street trees.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that, but even, I was talking to someone from Parks and Rec not too long ago. And I told them that, yeah, you actually have different parks that have groves of trees, fruit trees, and they didn't seem to know that. So that was kind of interesting. So they have tried it before. I remember Lowry Park had a pretty substantial grove of fruit trees, and some of them still are there. But it is not as maintained as it used to be. Any other questions? Anybody ready for a tour?
Well, thank you for your time. Let me present it. I'm really excited to show you all the garden.
Yeah.
So I recommend looking for a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
And then, you can take notes, just to sure we're not breaking any rules.
Okay.
Motion to.
Well, yeah, do we have any older new business? Anything? Oh, yes, Jake.
So I mentioned Morgan Street Public Engagement Event is in March. The actual dates to be determined. Whiting Street Public Engagement will be late spring, early summer. So I'll provide all that information in future meetings.
Okay, and so this is important because when you go out to this site, Whiting Street's being looked at, Morgan Street's being looked at for a double protected bike lane. So this, not only will this community garden right now, it is right on the corner, but very soon it will be protected even more. So when we get out there, I'll show you where, well, Jason probably is better to show you where the double protected bike lane on Morgan is going. That's also going to be protected. The bike lane is going to be protected by a lane of parking, so it'll be even better. So just the ability and to expand the garden a bit and protect it will be really, really cool. Okay, anything else? Okay, motion to adjourn, anyone? Okay, motion from David. Second from Karen, all in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.
I have some parking passes if anyone needs.
So just come
Sure.
on.
I gotta- I'll be right back.
Yeah, got it. So the new state.